The idea that everyone should celebrate their birthday is weirdly not very old itself. Not until the 19th century, somewhere around 1860 or 1880, did the middle-class Americans commonly do so. And not until the early 20th century were birthday celebrations a traditional nationwide thing. In fact, the song Happy Birthday is not far beyond its own 100th birthday. Throughout history, there are scattered examples of birthday festivities around the globe, but the honorees tended to either be rulers, such as Egyptian pharaohs, or powerful members of an upper The idea that everyone should celebrate their birthday is weirdly not very old itself. Not until the 19th century, somewhere around 1860 or 1880, did the middle-class Americans commonly do so. And not until the early 20th century were birthday celebrations a traditional nationwide thing. In fact, the song Happy Birthday is not far beyond its own 100th birthday. Throughout history, there are scattered examples of birthday festivities around the globe, but the honorees tended to either be rulers, such as Egyptian pharaohs, or powerful members of an upper class. For a while, a similar pattern held in the United States. Birthdays were for rich people or national heroes. Americans celebrated George Washington's birthday, for instance, but for everyone else, a birthday, if they even knew the date, was just another day. The shift in the mid-19th century started with kids. Some scholars have emphasized the increased attention that began to be lavished on individual children as families started having fewer of them. Kids' birthday parties may have been an early hint of how American children were starting to be viewed as less valuable economically as workers and more valuable emotionally as family members. The rise in birthday celebrations was also part of a larger shift in how people conceptualized the passing of time. Clocks in pre-industrial America were rare and seldom accurate. As the 19th century progressed, the widespread production of household clocks and pocket watches made it possible for Americans to constantly know what time it was. And as more people followed the schedules of factories, streetcars, and trains, they had more reason to watch those clocks. As Americans became more aware of the time, they also became more aware of how it passed in their own lives. Some argued this newfound focus on age was visible in many 19th century institutions. Schools started using age to separate students into grades, and doctors started using it to assess people's health and development. Not coincidentally, this was the same era when people started noting their birthdays. People started selling birthday cards in the late 19th century. And before long, card makers were releasing the same age-phobic trick that you can find in drugstore aisles today. I found one card from 1926 that read, quote, "I know your age, but I'll keep it mum. If you'll do the same when my birthdays come." Today, the idea of celebrating someone's birthday is non-controversial. But in the decades when the tradition was still new, some groups resisted it. Researchers have noted that various birthday party poopers thought that the celebrations were self-centered and materialistic, and that they took attention away from God and turned children into brats. The haters, of course, lost, but they were right to suspect that birthdays have a dark side. As anyone past a certain age can attest, marking another year is not all the balloons and ice cream and cake that we think it is. A birthday can be anxiety provoking in the sense that it provides a milestone by which individuals can compare their status, accomplishments, and appearance with other people who are the same age. It's kind of like a train. Are you ahead of time, on time, or behind time? What if you're frozen in time? The way we celebrate today is a mishmash of traditions. Cake is likely traced back to ancient Roman birthdays, although some accounts indicate that Americans used to be just as likely to celebrate with fruit. The candles appear to come from an aristocratic German birthday celebration, and it dates back at least several hundred years. And the expectation of wrapped gifts is a product of good old Western consumerism. In fact, the era when birthdays exploded was also the era when those terms on time, ahead of time, behind time entered the lexicon. They were used to talk about daily logistics, but they're also applied to people's progress through life in a way that quickly laced birthdays with anxiety. One lady writes in her diary from 1921, "I lay in bed this morning thinking, 46 years old and nowhere yet." Birthdays celebrate a full year of life, a new milestone. I'm not a poet, but this is how my birthday card would read. In the thick woods of Tennessee, a secret hides within thee. Where are you, summer? We need to know. Do we look near the river or in the snow? And today is your birthday. Yes, it's true. But we should wait to cut the cake so we can eat it with you. And thank you for being here, everybody. Um, I don't really have a lot to say tonight. You know, there's a lot I could say, and there's a lot that I'm not going to say. Um, Today is not a happy day. Um, Not to me, you know. It's weird because happy birthday, you know, is it's a birthday. There's no doubt that it's a birthday. Um, but it's not there. There is nothing to celebrate right now. Um, it's tough, it's you get really emotionally invested in these cases, and you start to feel your mind becomes really wrapped in um, just constantly thinking about kids and the mistreated, the vulnerable. And today should have been a special day for Summer Wells, um, but it's not. I mean, we just got to be honest about it. It's not. Today is as it's not a good day. I know it's her birthday, but it's not the birthday that she deserves. Um, she is a missing girl, and she's missing today, still 7 months later, on her birthday. And I refuse to celebrate something like that. I'm not going to do it. I'll celebrate when justice is served, or if Summer comes home. When I mean home, we find her, because I don't want her or any of them going back to what was. I'll celebrate then. And that will be a cause for celebration. You know, it is her birthday, but it's also another day where she's missing. Um, she just deserves better, and all the other kids deserve better. Then yeah, I didn't even. The thing was, I didn't come on here. I didn't want to be somber. I didn't want to be sad. I didn't want to, I didn't want to. But I mean, come on, like, what are you? What are you supposed to do? How are you supposed to be happy? How are you supposed to celebrate? I can't. I can't. I'm not going to. You can't tell me you woke up this morning, and when you think about Summer, that you have happy thoughts. Because the fact of the matter is, the young lady is the little girl, the child, is missing on her birthday. And that is tough. That's tough. That's a tough, Christmas goes by, Thanksgiving, then Christmas. The first day of school, she missed. Now her birthday. It's just stacking up. It's just a bunch of dates stacking up. That's what that is. It's just a more days stacking up that she's missed. So there's no reason to celebrate. I just don't see. I don't. I'm not trying to bum anybody out. I'm not trying to be the hey everybody, let's be down in the dumps. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm doing. But I want to keep perspective. What are we celebrating today? You know, I mean, really though, what are we celebrating today? You know, the first thing I thought about was, oh my God, it's Summer's birthday. And I went, not, hey, it's Summer's birthday. How did I do that? KP Baz says Josh stated that she was a hero. Would you discuss that with us? Summer's a hero in the fact that whatever she's going through now or has went through and is no longer with us, she was the catalyst for change in the life of her family, everybody. Everything changed because of her. The entire tectonic plates of the Wells family has been shifted because of this little girl. Nothing will ever be the same when it comes to the Wells. Sure, Dawn and Candace may still carry on, but they've lost it all. They're gone, you know. They've lost everything. And unfortunately, it seems the conundrum was that something catastrophic, something something terrible had to happen before the attention was placed on the Wells, because it seems as though they were skipping along. And so that's what that is. If it weren't for Summer, who knows what would still be happening with those children. And when you think about it in the context of just this generation, this lifetime, you can become short-sighted in the fact that it's incredibly sad. It's terrible, and it never should have happened. But what about the daughters of the boys? How will they do down the line? And their sons, daughters, granddaughters, grandkids. You know, we think in such, short terms here. I mean, we're thinking one generation, but Summer could change the life of dozens for generations to come. And maybe, like me, who came from an abusive family, and I said that I don't want to be anything like my dad, I tried to be the exact opposite. When I say I tried to be the exact opposite, like that was my goal, was to be in life growing up. I wanted to love my children with all my heart. I wanted to be a kind person. I didn't want to take from people. I didn't want to hurt people. And maybe the same thing will happen with these three boys. They will one day go, I don't want to be like that. I saw it. I saw it. I experienced it. And I don't want that for my life, for my kids, for my children. So that, in fact, is why she's a hero. And when I say in the video to Summer, when I wrote the letter to her, I you know I said I hope that it wasn't in vain, meaning that something would come out of this that would resonate for years to come. And I think it will. But I also want to see justice served. I also want whoever did what to pay for it. But I don't want to fake celebrate something that's not that happy for me. I don't have pleasant thoughts today, because it's just another day that she's missing, that she's missed, like she missed Thanksgiving, like she missed Christmas, like she now has missed her birthday. I'll celebrate when she stops missing stuff, or when somebody is responsible for her missing these important days. That's when I will celebrate, but not a moment sooner. I don't feel right doing it. She's missing. We're not celebrating. I'm not going to celebrate. You can, whoever you want to be, whoever you are, but it's not appropriate. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Not a happy day. It's a worse day because it is it's supposed to be her special day. What's so special about today? Nothing. Nothing. It would have been a special day, I think, but it's not. It's not a special day. She's a special girl, but this is not a special day because you can't tell me the first day of school wasn't a special day. Then she missed Christmas or Thanksgiving and Christmas, Halloween, Happy New Year. She missed Happy New Year's. Now she's missed her birthday. It's another day that she's missed. That's not something for me. I will never celebrate that. Happy birthday? Or is it just a birthday? It's just a birthday. There's nothing happy about it. The little girl is, we can honor her. We can honor her every day. We can talk about her, keep her name out there. We can honor. We can do it all. And we should. but now is not a time to celebrate. It's just not. You can't, I mean, it's just not a time to celebrate. I mean, yeah. I get lost thinking about the thought process. And am I being wrong? Am I being a downer? Should we be happy today? Well, about this, probably not. I'm not telling you to be unhappy about your life or your day. But I certainly wasn't. When I thought about her birthday, it was something of sadness, not happy. It would have been happy if she had been found alive, or, some justice was starting to be served. That would have been happy. I think, and then we have a lot of people out there that want to like make rules. People should do this today. People should do that today. People should act this way. Look, I'm telling you how I'm going to act, how I'm acting, how I feel. However anybody wants to feel, they can feel that way. That doesn't mean I understand it, because I don't. I don't understand it. Yeah, it's I mean, I guess we all deal with things different. But I mean, where can you believe she's missed so much already? Honestly, like, you hear the story about her being excited about going to school. Every day that goes by it becomes more and more bleak. So next year, if God forbid she's not found on her 7th birthday, what are we going to do then? Yes, let's remember her. Let's honor her. Let's talk about her. And then let's keep trying to find her. I don't know. Maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm off on that. Or maybe I'm right on. It's one or the other. I'm either way off or I'm right on. I don't, I'm not, that's another thing, is that I'm not trying to tell people how to act or how they should feel, but read the room. Read the room. Because I don't think for a second that everybody has good intentions when it comes to the Summerwells case, but that's just standard in any situation. There are people who don't have the best interest of the case, or there are people that don't really actually. I mean, this might shock somebody, and I'll say it, but there are people out there who genuinely don't care what happens in this case, as long as they can keep talking about it. And that would totally shock you to hear that, but it's true. It's true. because somebody can go, "Oh, Summer Wells," and then people go, "Ah," and then that person's going, mm. And it's a shame. It's a shame. It's embarrassing. Yowza. It's a shame. It's disgusting. Today is not a happy day. I wish it was. Like, that's the thing. I truly wish it was. Like, if we had something to celebrate, if we had some new hope, if we had some inkling of anything. But what we have is just more of the same. It's just more and more of the same. And it sucks. I just I when I was getting ready to when I was getting ready for the show tonight, and I had planned on going on as late as possible, because I had just been busy during the day, but um, I definitely wanted to weigh in on how I have just a different feeling about this than some others, and I choose to deal with it different. And maybe the way that other people act uh, turn me off because I'm a prude, or I don't know, like that's just not who I am. Uh, I like to celebrate when it's appropriate. I but I'm not. I think that I'm on. I think I'm right on this one. And I think that I saw some really nice stuff today. That's a fact. I did. People did. People, you know, I understand the need and the want and the you feel like you're trying to give some resemblance of normalcy, and if you don't acknowledge that she's really gone, is she really gone? Well, yes, she really is. And that's the difference. That's the difference, is that she is gone. There's no doubt about that. Uh, but I also take into consideration, like we all probably should, that not everybody thinks like I do. Not everybody is wired the same way that I am or that you are. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt until I absolutely cannot anymore, because I'm sitting there going, like, you could reel that in a little, right? I guess. I don't know. Can you? I think about it and I go, am I living wrong? And then I go, no, I'm not. Am I? I mean, come on. It's bothersome. It's bothersome. And today will come and go like every other day. And it will basically be another day that she is missing. And another day that she's missed, an important day. I'm not saying today's not important. Every child should be able to celebrate their birthday, but we're the ones celebrating it, not her. And I don't feel right about that. She should be celebrating with us or her family or, you know, her friends or her school or today is no different than yesterday, other than today is her birthday that she's not celebrating. So that's the difference here. What are we celebrating for? That's just what I'm wondering. I think about that a lot. I think about that a lot because, I mean, we have to keep perspective. If we're not keeping perspective, which we've all lost perspective at one point or another in this and many other cases, you know, the things that we talk about sometimes are heavy, whether it be self-help or trying to just be a better you. That's always tough. We all know that. We all have inner fights with ourselves. And I always say, you know, I'm not going to be critical of others. I'm trying my best, but people sometimes make that impossible. And I don't get it. The less critical I try to be, the more it seems like the more ridiculous people get. And that's really not a good balancing act for me. I'm going to have to take a mulligan on that. The less critical I try to be, the more ridiculous people get. Fact. No printer. Boop, 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 boop. Fact. So tomorrow we'll go on about our day. Saturday, oh, you know, yeah. Summer's birthday was yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. My reaction to that statement would be, that's sad. Not, I'm gonna throw a party. Ugh. Well, well, well. It's just not happy. Definitely not happy. Yeah. Now's not the time for parties. Now is the time for reflection, thought, prayer, um, positive thinking, I guess, as much as that we can, but we're not really, we don't have any, um, we don't have anything to celebrate. Today is a birthday. It's just not a happy one. So what do you want to do about that? You know, you can't force something. You can't force people to be happy about today. If anything, it should be worse. But can we reflect? Can we look uh, back on everything that we've learned and going forward what we can do in our lives to be better people, to respect and honor the very delicate situations that we discuss without inserting ourselves too much into the forefront. I get where, I'm a personality. We're all personalities. Nobody sits up here in front of hundreds, sometimes thousands of people and doesn't have a personality. Well, I didn't say good personality, but they have a personality. Everybody knows, most everybody that does anything like this has a personality. And you go, oh, that's so that person, or that's so that person. I mean, that's a thing. We all have it. And we can learn how to become more sensitive to, because I'm telling you right now, if my daughter was missing and there was a bunch of like crazy people celebrating her birthday, that I would be like, what the hell are you doing? Because we're not happy. I'm not happy today. I don't know what Dawn and Candace are, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about normal people. I'm talking about just normal people, you know? It's not normal. So when we can try to do better, we can try to quote unquote get along. We can whatever. Just cut it out. You want to talk about talk about Summer Wells, but do it respectfully. Have some class and some decency. It's a little kid we're talking about. A little missing child, not a toy you take out of the closet and wave in front of your friends and go, look at me. We don't do that. That's not really appropriate. It is not really appropriate at all. Um, but like I said, I've also seen a lot of good things today. A lot of look, the tributes and all that. Look, all that stuff is great. That stuff is great. But keep it respectful. We just try and keep it respectful. But yes, absolutely, there are people out there that have done great work and written great things, and you know, That's good. But let's keep perspective and let's try and be respectful. And that's here what we do here on the lab. Um, we try to deal with this stuff as respectfully as we can. When I say stuff, I'm not talking about just this situation, the Summer Wells case. I'm talking about all these cases, all these people, just in general. Just treat people right, treat people better, be a good person. Being a good person is a choice. You got to understand that being a good person is a choice, and you can decide if you are going to be a good person. You can work at it, and we got to work at it, because if we don't, then things just get worse and worse and worse. Hmm. Let's just try better. Let's just try to do better. That's all we can do. Yeah, none of us are perfect. Um, none of us are, and none of us are claiming to be. But it's just not over. It's not a time to celebrate. There's a little kid missing. There's a little girl missing. And there are certain people that don't want us to know what has happened to her. And think about that. Is that a happy thing? That's something we should be celebrating? I don't think so. I certainly don't think so. Someone knows. That's true. Somebody does know. Let's try to be better parents, advocates, protectors of the vulnerable. Let's. Let's. And let's just work on being better people. Like, if you've ever watched my show, ever, you know that one of the things that I talk about is just uh, progress, not perfection, but progress, trying to get better every day, finding ways to do things more efficiently. I mean, when I remember, breaking into business, when I was 25, and when I say breaking into business, uh, I was emptying trash cans. But while I was emptying those trash cans, I go, I'm going to own this place one day. But before that, I'm not going to have to do these trash cans forever. And then maybe I can go to the front of the house. Then maybe if I work harder than everybody else and I do my best, maybe I can just run this place one day. And then I ran the place. And then I owned the company. And it took me 10 years from start by taking the trash out to being the one that signed the checks. And it was a long road. And I did my best. And there were ups and downs. But I tried my hardest. And so every day as we get better and we can do better, why can't we handle things better? That is just a part of getting better, doing better, respecting each other. Respect is really lost these days. You know. Absolutely not. I did not skip the mopping. That was all part of the trash. It's all part of the trash. Mopping, vacuuming, all that. Yeah, we tried it all. We did it all. Brick by brick, piece by piece. Every day, you know. The idea that everyone should celebrate their birthday is weirdly not very old itself. Not until the 19th century, somewhere around 1860 or 1880, did the middle class Americans commonly do so. And not until the early 20th century were birthday celebrations a traditional nationwide thing. In fact, the song Happy Birthday is not far beyond its own 100th birthday. Throughout history, there are scattered examples of birthday festivities around the globe, but the honorees tended to either be rulers, such as Egyptian pharaohs, or powerful members of an upper class. For a while, a similar pattern held in the United States. Birthdays were for rich people or national heroes. Americans celebrated George Washington's birthday, for instance, but for everyone else, a birthday, if they even knew the date, was just another day. The shift in the mid-19th century started with kids. Some scholars have emphasized the increased attention that began to be lavished on individual children as families started having fewer of them. Kids' birthday parties may have been an early hint of how American children were starting to be viewed as less valuable economically as workers and more valuable emotionally as family members. The rise in birthday celebrations was also part of a larger shift in how people conceptualized the passing of time. Clocks in pre-industrial America were rare and seldom accurate. As the 19th century progressed, the widespread production of household clocks and pocket watches made it possible for Americans to constantly know what time it was. And as more people followed the schedules of factories, streetcars, and trains, they had more reason to watch those clocks. As Americans became more aware of the time, they also became more aware of how it passed in their own lives. Some argued this newfound focus on age was visible in many 19th century institutions. Schools started using age to separate students into grades, and doctors started using it to assess people's health and development. Not coincidentally, this was the same era when people started noting their birthdays. People started selling birthday cards in the late 19th century. And before long, card makers were releasing the same age-phobic trick that you can find in drugstore aisles today. I found one card from 1926 that read, quote, "I know your age, but I'll keep it mum. If you'll do the same when my birthdays come." Today, the idea of celebrating someone's birthday is non-controversial. But in the decades when the tradition was still new, some groups resisted it. Researchers have noted that various birthday party poopers thought that the celebrations were self-centered and materialistic, and that they took attention away from God and turned children into brats. The haters, of course, lost, but they were right to suspect that birthdays have a dark side. As anyone past a certain age can attest, marking another year is not all the balloons and ice cream and cake that we think it is. A birthday can be anxiety-provoking in the sense that it provides a milestone by which individuals can compare their status, accomplishments, and appearance with other people who are the same age. It's kind of like a train. Are you ahead of time, on time, or behind time? What if you're frozen in time? The way we celebrate today is a mishmash of traditions. Cake is likely traced back to ancient Roman birthdays, although some accounts indicate that Americans used to be just as likely to celebrate with fruit. The candles appear to come from an aristocratic German birthday celebration, and it dates back at least several hundred years. And the expectation of wrapped gifts is a product of good old Western consumerism. In fact, the era when birthdays exploded was also the era when those terms on time, ahead of time, behind time entered the lexicon. They were used to talk about daily logistics, but they're also applied to people's progress through life in a way that quickly laced birthdays with anxiety. One lady writes in her diary from 1921, "I lay in bed this morning thinking, 46 years old and nowhere yet." Birthdays celebrate a full year of life, a new milestone. I'm not a poet, but this is how my birthday card would read. In the thick woods of Tennessee, a secret hides within thee. Where are you, summer? We need to know. Do we look near the river or in the snow? And today is your birthday. Yes, it's true. But we should wait to cut the cake so we can eat it with you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for everything that you guys do for us at this channel. It's always appreciated. And thank you for the super stickers and chats and new members, likers and subscribers, commenters. Always appreciated. Thank you for being here. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you.